Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a get ready with me. I ain't really got nowhere to go, but I figure this is a great way to kind of talk to you guys and let's, pass the time by. So I'm gonna just do my makeup, look cute, to go sit on my couch. Yeah, I said it. To go sit on my couch. So I want to start off by using the Born This Way Too Faced foundation, but before I do that, I'm going to prime my face. So I know that it's been a little tough with everything that's been going around, especially now, it's sad. The death toll for the coronavirus has reached higher numbers than even China and Italy. And that's really alarming. It's more than alarming, it's scary. There's so much misinformation still out there, and yeah, it's been a very trying time. I would have never thought in my lifetime that I would have seen a pandemic happen in the US. I feel like we've had other instances of epidemics, but has never gotten to this point where we're essentially everything is shut down. Especially where I live now. I live in DC and everything is shut down. It's non-essential businesses have to be closed by a certain time. In fact, some of them are already closed and they're not going to open till at the earliest April 23rd. Also makes us realize how we lack certain infrastructure within our country and within the world to deal with such a catastrophe, such a global health issue. And the interesting thing is that Bill Gates predicted, I wouldn't say he predicted it, but he did say something along the lines of, we're ready for a nuclear war, we're ready for all these things, but the one thing that could really paralyze us is a huge pandemic of sorts. He said that about 3 years ago, and to see this happen now is whoa. You were right. That's crazy. So it really puts into perspective how important it is to have a really strong public health system as well as healthcare system. You can see the cracks in the foundation. Some of the things that are alarming is that there are about 100,000 ER beds in the U.S. That's not even 25% of the population. So you can imagine why there's this big hysteria because of the fact that there's not even enough hospital beds or ER beds to even care for not even a quarter of the nation. So I know people are kind of going crazy with this social distancing. It's been hard, you guys. I already work from home 3 days a week for my regular job. And so now I'm home literally every day. I only go out to go to the grocery store and I go for walks. That's literally all I do. So it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a pretty outgoing social person, and I was already into social interactions. I'm that type of person that I try to, interact and call and see people regularly. So this has been interesting. But at the same time, I feel I'm kind of looking at the whole staying home thing as a little bit of a, let me get my ish together, So yeah, I came up with this list because I was what am I going to do until the earliest April 24th? What am I going to do in the house? And I was I came up with this list, which I think is a pretty good list of things you can do. And I feel it would be great to share. So the first thing on my list is one of the things that I'm doing for myself is working on my fitness. I feel sometimes we go to the gym and we're not productive. We out here trying to look cute. We out here doing the bare minimum because there's no one pushing us. And there's so many workouts that don't require equipment that are just as effective. If not, I'm not going to say if not better, but maybe on the same level. you know, because you're working on your core strength, you're using your body weight. You know, there's so many things that you can do. I found at least 4 workouts this week alone that kicked my butt. I was like, what was I doing before this YouTube workout? Because everything else doesn't matter. Because I was out of breath. One of the workouts had me sore for 2 days, y'all. And I thought I was pretty fit, but the lies you tell. So, that's like one thing. My nose is itching. That's like one thing you can do to kind of like, you know, work on thyself while you're stuck at home. I also go for walks. Second thing on my list is, so I have been trying to learn / perfect my Spanish for a number of years now. And I've been a slacker. Like, at one point, I was on it, you know, like, I could definitely talk intermediate Spanish, and I was pretty good. And then I started slacking, you know, everything else became more important than that. So, one of the things that I've been doing is kind of like going and getting back into that. And that meant me like dusting off old books. I also use a app. There's like a free app. It's called Duolingo. I'm sure tons of people know about it, but those who don't know, download it. It's free. There's like tons of languages on there that you can practice, and it takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes of your day. It's nothing too serious, and it's a great way to kind of like leisurely learn a language. Now, if you're trying to learn hardcore, obviously you're going to need to you know, like interact with people that actually are native speakers of the language. That way you'll be able to, you know, really practice your skills. But that's kind of a good way to kind of pass time by. If you're like me, you know, if you really are passionate about something, you kind of get obsessed with it. And I have been known to get obsessed with things when I'm really like curious about it and trying to learn. What I will say is that it's a great tool for practicing, especially if right now you can't really go out and socialize with people. This is kind of like a great tool for you to kind of like get used to listening to the sound of the language, or really just kind of get an understanding for how the verbs and all that stuff work. So I highly encourage that. So the third thing on my list is to read more. Like maybe read a book or two if you're not into the whole picking up the actual book and opening it. You can also do audibles. You can also listen to podcasts. That's also a tool. Before, you know, we got confined to our homes, I would listen to podcasts on my way to work. Every morning and every evening, well, not evening, but early evening on my way home from work, I would listen to crime podcasts. I would listen to funny podcasts. I would listen to, you know, just like any type of podcast that will either teach me something or make me laugh. I'm all about it. So that's like another way to kind of pass the time by if you're like looking for things to do. So next on my list, redecorate your house. You have all this time on your hands. Start going on Pinterest, looking up ideas, and really kind of get an idea of what you want. Another great website in addition to Pinterest is House. I'll link that down below, but it's great because you can also narrow down your decor search and search by region, so you can see what's popular in your area. So I love House, and I really love Pinterest. Pinterest is like my ish. So that's like another thing you can do. You don't have to buy anything right now, but you can start to come up with concepts. You can build a vision board for the room that you want to decorate. I'm all about that. I'm going to use my finger to apply. I'm trying to experiment with color nowadays, you know, and thought pink would be a good way to experiment. So that's like one of the ways, that's another way to pass your time by, is to kind of like think of ways to redecorate your home. some of you guys are gonna cringe that I'm using my fingers, but makeup is supposed to be fun, and there's no rules to it. You know, like, I don't think that I'm a amazing makeup applier. It's not really a phrase, but it's a phrase in my book. And okay, so the next thing on the list is house repairs. I think that we all have some things in our home that we've been procrastinating on doing. For me, I told myself, I made a list at the beginning of the year. I was like, I'm going to get all this stuff done. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be so, you know, like proactive about the things in my house that need to get done. Have I done that? The answer is no. Negative, Ghost Rider. That's what the answer is. So I think that take this time to like literally fix things around the house. And that's what I've been doing. I've been proactive about either fixing something, putting something up. I added lights to my deck. You know, I wanted to look back on this period of time, don't know how long it's going to last, and be like, man, I was productive. I got stuff done. So I think this is a perfect time for people to really hone in and get things done that they've kind of been overlooking for several months, if not more. I think that that's a good use of time. So number to work on your cooking skills. I know for me, I know how to cook. My parents didn't raise no fool. I know how to cook. But a lot of the times I'm cooking out of convenience and not because I have all this time on my hands. So I feel like for a lot of people, myself included, we don't take the time to actually, you know, cook like this amazing meal all the time. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I think that it would be cool, maybe cool is not the word. I think it would be great if this time to really work on your cooking skills. Like, why not take this time to make yourself lavish meals? Take this time to really like work on your favorite dish that you love to order at restaurants, but you don't know how to make. I know for me, I would love to learn how to make drunken noodles. So number 9 is binge watch your favorite show, which I'm sure you guys are already doing, or find a new show to watch. So for me, I started watching Tiger King. Y'all, that thing is a hot mess, but it's so entertaining. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Binge watching. It's just a mini series on Netflix. It's nothing serious, but it's interesting. Mine is to have a virtual happy hour with your friends. I know for me, I've already done it twice, and there are several applications you can use. I did it on Zoom just the other day with some girlfriends of mine. It was quite entertaining because we all had our glasses of wine, we had our little old fashions, and we were like going to town, and it was a great time. So I would highly recommend that. I would also say there's Zoom, there's Skype. If you have WhatsApp, you can also use WhatsApp, but I feel like I don't know how to do it as a group, so I'm thinking maybe that won't be a good avenue. There's also Google Hangout, and the last one is, I think that's it. But those are some options for you if you're looking for an avenue to see your friends, but also, you know, also like maintain the social distancing rule. I know for me, it's a great way to see your friends, have a good time, do girl chat, and also adhere to the rules and stay safe. Okay, please hold while I put this on. Okay. Now that I'm back with my lashes, child. Okay, while that's drying, let's do the hair. So another thing to do if you're like really stressed and you are just not knowing what to do with your mind is adult coloring book. I think that is fun, and it's also a stress reliever because you're not really overthinking life. You're just doing mindless behavior in a sense. I mean, I find it relaxing, so I thought I would share that with you guys. And the next thing on my list is take this time. This is number 10, I think. Take this time to reflect. So for me, there have been things I've kind of been neglecting as far as like procrastination and just not getting things done. So I'm taking this time to kind of reflect and cross some things off my to-do list that I've been meaning to do, you know, and it's been productive, minus the fact that, you know, I can't really interact with people. But some of the stuff is more so personal goals of mine that I need to do. And this is just some jojoba oil, but just some personal things I need to accomplish. So that's one of the things that I'm definitely looking forward to is, or I've been doing, is reflecting on life. And yeah. Lastly on my list is to declutter. I know for myself, I have a little bit of clutter when it comes to clothing. Furniture wise, I don't have a lot of clutter because I'm semi minimalistic, so I don't have a lot of clutter in the sense of furniture, but I do have a lot of clutter in the sense of clothing. So I've slowly been going through and making piles of clothing that I just want to give away to women's shelters and to the homeless. I don't necessarily want to sell them. The ones that are like party outfits, maybe. But everything else, like t-shirts and shorts and pants and winter clothes, definitely want to make sure that they go to people who are definitely in need. Alright guys, that's the end of my list. If you come up with any other cool or noteworthy things to do during this quarantine time, comment down below. I would love to hear some of your suggestions on things that we could be doing to help pass the time by and get us through this time. You know, I'm feeling really bad for those who have lost loved ones. So I decided that since you guys have seen me do twist outs before, I decided that I would just kind of fast forward through this because you guys have seen me do it time and time before. To the end of this video, and this is the final look. I am all about having fun with makeup, and it doesn't have to be, I'm by no means a makeup artist or a makeup artist wannabe. I just do makeup that makes sense for me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my suggestions on how to pass the time when you're quarantined, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will have another video next week. Have a good night, guys.